Okay, someone needs to
Yes.
message me and tell me when to start.
Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I was having a different conversation, but that's irrelevant. We're here in the Excellency Valorant tournament. Obviously, I am not Anton Golden Falcon. I am somewhat different. I am Necrox, joined by, of course, the wonderful Sparky GD. Welcome, my friend. You're gonna have to guide me. Like, hold my hand, take me through. What is this game? There are guns. It's very scary.
Yeah, this is going to be an exciting one. We are going to have a Fate versus Lotus today. Fate is, I believe, 0-3 right now, so they need to kind of shore up their defenses, see what they can do in order to actually get some of these games on the board. They haven't been having a whole lot of success so far, and I believe Lotus also are 1-2 this season. They've actually been looking pretty decent. They're just not really able to close out those games just yet, but with their opponents being Fate, maybe this is the game where they can even it back up.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at two teams at the bottom ish half of the table. Lotus obviously trying to put on some sort of a comeback here in the later stages. Fate really need to start amping up their maneuvers now. Obviously, everyone, I believe, gets to make it to playoffs because of the early drops that we've had, but seeding is so important in this playoff bracket once we get there. And I'm hoping these two teams start to show us something new, something exciting with maybe a spark under their belt, no pun intended, and really get the gas going here. Because if not, going into playoffs with dead water, that is just not what you want. You really need to start pushing for the hills if you want to even think about taking down those top tier teams.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like we do have, some of the picks and bans. I actually didn't really catch, the entirety. I think Split was banned, and I'm not sure about Ascent, but we should be getting into Ascent was not picked. Okay, so we should be getting to was sorry, production's in my ear. I am a little bit mistaken there, but we should be getting into the game very shortly. Um, just waiting on the players, get into the lobby and give their ready checks.
Yeah, just waiting now for these players to ready up. And Sparky, I guess I have to ask your opinion because you're the expert here today. I mean, if you were to predict where this series is going, if we're going, a long drawn out series, or if one team or another is going to wipe away either side, sort of a cheeky prediction here from you on where we're headed tonight.
Yeah, I think that Lotus is going to have a really great game. I think they're a team that I've watched before, and some of their players are just really good at setting each other up. I know, like, what is it? Amith is really good of being that he's able to get like a lot of frags, but he's also able to set up his team pretty consistently. So I'm excited to see how that works tonight against maybe Fate, who hasn't had that same amount of success, maybe not working as much as a team, rather going for more of that puggy type play style. Remember that this is, I believe, a plat cap tournament. I think there's a couple diamonds, sprinkled in the mix, but overall, this isn't, the highest level of play we are seeing. It's still great to see, a team like Lotus have that that very consistent team play, even at these lower levels.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the teams that honestly anyone can reliably set up for a huge play. Obviously, Myth known for being that entry fragger, that top fragger at the end of the game. But I mean, any of these players have their shining moments. On the side of Lotus and the side of Fate, you're looking at people like AOK who have seen really good success in certain matches and in certain lineups and specifically on specific agents as we get into draft here in just a couple seconds. And then Posh1G, obviously very good. But here we go into map number one. We're headed to Breeze for a little bit of vacation as Fate and Lotus start to kick things off.
Yeah, I'm super excited for Breeze. It's a really big map, so I do expect to see those jet operas, come out in pretty much full force. The operator is just so good on this map, and Jet's pretty much that star character when it comes to opping. And it seems like Lotus not really waiting around too much, locking in very early. Definitely, seeing that Viper there, pretty standard overall, because the Viper wall can just cut off so many different sight lines, maybe deal with an op on the other side, which it seems like so below is going for that Jet, probably going for the opera as well. A little bit of a difference. We see Posh holding the Astra here, and Astra's a little bit interesting of a pick. That gravity well, that concuss, both of them can be really good. It's just hard to target them pretty correctly on this map as it is so big. There's so many angles that you really need to check. Crazy Roy going for the Omen instead. I'm not a huge fan of Omen on this map. It's kind of hard to really get the timing down and when it comes to those smokes, but we'll see how how they utilize these agents in the coming game.
Yeah, I mean, Omen very good at sort of having a very specific game plan. All you got is those two smokes and then maybe a little bit of mobility on top of that. But things like Viper and Astra, they're so creative. There's so much potential to generate space and lines of sight for your team that really aren't normally there. Love to see it from Fate and see what creativity they can bring out in this map 1. But on the side of Lotus, obviously, it's stock standard. You have Otter on the Viper. You have crits on the Sky as well, which may be a little bit newer for him, but regardless, an initiator is all the same, really looking to work up something on the offense. But for now, Lotus starting off on the defense and Fate going offensive. As we get ready for game 1, here we go.
Yeah, I'm excited for this game. I'm a little bit surprised that no Sage was picked on the side of Fate there. It just feels like such a staple pick on this map. You can get the wall down pretty early for these plants and make it a little bit safer from those sight lines. In the end, though, it does seem like Fate wanting to just go around mid, take that control early, that allows the rotations to be cut off, and giving your team so much space early like that can really set you up for a good attacking side.
Okay, and you see Clazy here trying something a little bit interesting with his wall. See how that one plays out, but fully stacked up in mid. Our Fate looking to really barrel down this mid position on crits here indoors to try to hold that one off. And, well, that did not go well to begin with. Crits first kill of the round is... Here comes Fate really pushing their way onto site. Clazy trying to get a little bit of damage off, but he'll fall as well. A Myth good to trade that one back with a Sheriff. But really just going to have to let this plant go down. Here comes the retake. Going to have to be a good 3v4 effort.
Ooh, yeah, Otter just going a little bit aggressive, but isn't able to land the shots. Umith trading back blows, but Fate seems to be coming out on top. And with Otter at 16 HP, it really doesn't seem like there's much of a chance. Fate with a good mid push to get control, and they hold the site well. Almost it got a little bit dicey with a couple of shots just being sprayed a little bit too wide from the side of Lotus. Otherwise, it might have worked out, you know, a little bit differently. That first round going to Fate means that Fate will now be able to buy up, and I'm a little bit surprised by the guns that we're seeing. We're seeing a lot of Spectres and Ares thrown in the mix, but these aren't really the guns you see you know, on a long range map like Breeze. I'm kind of surprised we don't see more Marshals thrown into the mix.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a couple SMGs in the Ares, but round 1, game plan 1. Uh-oh, Flavor may be in a little bit of trouble. This is danger, but instead it's turned right back around. Crits and Clazy CC be damned. There's no angle to be had. A Myth drops, and this is an expected round win for sure. Plant goes down. Flash in mid as well, and Roy and Otter not able to do all too much here with their pistols. Maybe getting a gun here wouldn't be too bad, but this is going to be a hard one. Flavor goes down, so that's going to be a Spectre now in the hands of Otter. We'll see if he can do anything. Wall's going to drop. Here come the smokes as well to try to enter his way out onto this site, but Otter's gone down, and Roy's going to fall now. 2 HP. Nothing to be had in this round. Fate with a 2-0 start in map 1.
Yeah, they're definitely just going to be able to get, you know, this next round under their pocket. Seems like some players sticking around for maybe too long. No, Crazy Roy just going to be allowed to walk into the site, die to the spike to make sure that that he gets the full loss bonus. If he did not end up dying that round, it would have only been $1,000 in his pockets. Now he has enough to get that rifle. So rifles on the board for Fates here. They have the long range gun advantage. The question is, can they use it? They've been losing mid pretty much in the every single time these last 2 rounds. Now they're sending the Sage on Lotus to kind of bolster that one up, make sure that the mid door can't be just taken easily. The only problem is Fate is going to the B site.
Yeah, they're headed straight towards this B site, and hello, you get to take a nice little quick look at us while we talk about this round that's going down. Not really all too much to be had here at the beginning. Here we go right back, and you can see what we're looking at. This Marshall gameplay. And here we go. Kills traded right back. Otter and AOK both going to drop. But Fate really aggressive now on this push. Myth, that's not where you want to be. So below just drops him straight down to the bullet to the dome, and Flavor finds Roy as well. Even on full buy round, Fate come out on top. Unless Crits and Clazy, CC duo, can make something happen. There's one. You need more. You need Kazi to get involved. Heal may not be available at this time, but a couple blinds in. Fate's not giving them anything to work with. They are playing this one so patiently. Sobolo gets one traded back, but 1v2. Crits can't do it, and Fate take it 3.
Yeah, we talked about Fate. You know, they aren't having too hot of a series so far. They're 0-3, but they're looking so dominant here on Breeze. It must have been their map pick because they know how to play this map. They're getting mid control. It's pretty much just being, you know, left for them as everyone's trying to cover the sites on the side of Lotus. And with that mid control, they can pretty much go wherever they want. You saw them go A with it. You saw them collapse on B. And now it seems like it's back towards that A site. Now no more mid is actually on the table, but Lotus haven't run into this. They're putting 3 members there.
They want everyone here. Crits is below indoors. He's not going to get too much with this Bucky. Yeah, another half buy round here for Lotus and full on Stampede. Door's going to open up, and here come the shots. Flavor to drop Clazy first. That's Bucky kill number 1. Maybe an upgrade to be had if you can get that gun, but it's just not allowed to do it. A-OK and Cringy are there to double team him out, and now 3v4. A Myth with a Marshall could get a little bit dangerous if you don't find your shot correctly. Soblo opens up with the Operator as well, and this is not looking good for Team Lotus. They are thoroughly handled in this early stage. Breeze not going their way, not without a win yet in this map. Really, really rough.
Yeah, that was their half buy, so, you know, not the worst thing in the world, but it seems like we are going to take a quick pause for production really quickly. And, you know, so far it's 4-0 for Fate. They've been looking so great. I feel like, you know, just the noise wasn't trusted. They pretty much, as you said, stampeded down that hallway, 3 people strong, but the rotates were just too slow from Lotus there. And that means that not enough people were on the site to really defend against that 2-pronged push. The rotations were also a little bit cut off since, you know, going through spawn is so hard when someone's already in, like when an attacker is already there.
Yeah, I mean, just every angle is cut off. Every modicum of space that Lotus had earned for themselves in that prep phase, in the rotations through, it's just immediately swarmed by Fate, and they're very, very aggressive. And I'm interested to see whether Lotus are going to take a more laid-back approach or if they're going to answer with aggression of their own, because so far it's kind of been a mix of both. And when you're playing a hybrid style like that, it doesn't really bode too well. At least it hasn't so far. And I'm interested in... We can see, the audience obviously can't see, but for now, just looking at a 2-1-2 setup with a Myth holding mid. And I don't know, man. The Lotus just hasn't looked good. I mean, maybe I can ask you the question, where's their angle back into this? How do they gain control over a series that's so quickly slipping away?
Yeah, they definitely need to be a little bit quicker towards those rotations. It feels like even though so much sound is being made from Fate, they're just a little bit too slow to actually bolster up their defenses. That's a really big thing on Breeze. You know, it's so open. There's a lot of different entryways into every single site. You have to play a little bit more aggressive to either take space away from the opponent, and then when you know where an opponent is, you have to make the correct rotations in order to either bolster up your defenses or create your own sort of pinch on the push that's coming onto a site. Back into game here though, Fate have some ultimates on the board. The Asher Wall, all the stars from Asher actually being placed around A. It looks to be more of that default setup from Fates here. Is Clazy going to really get pushed back? Wall not having necessarily too much of an impact, but now maybe a little bit of an over rotation as the fake is being set up. Otter getting caught out in B main, and that means a complete B site is free. Spike is with them as well, so that bomb will go down fast. The question is, can the rest of the team make it there to actually bolster this up? If the spike goes down a little bit too early and the people are killed, then Spike can just be easily defused.
Beautiful fake towards A from Fate as they move on to B, get that plant down, and 4v5 retake effort with Roy on the front line. Myth is sucked in and immediately deleted by Cringy, and Viper's Pit as well. Good God, this thing is just so dangerous. Clazy trying to get around through flank, but there's 2 members marking him, so they know exactly where Clazy's coming from. Roy trying to get in there with a blind. It's beautiful, but it's just not enough. Posh G shoots him through the darkness. Now Crits has to enter his way out somehow. He's blind. being decayed as well. Kill number 1 gonna go his way. Kill number 2 over to Clazy. 2v3 yet to be had once again, but the bomb is too low. I don't think they can get it. Here come the lineups, and it's all but over. Triple for Flavor, and Fate take it 5.
Yeah, Fate really conditioning the enemy team there. They understand that they've been doing these straight up pushes. They're playing it out so well, and then the retake just wasn't good enough. I feel like it was a little bit of a mistake from Fate there. They actually left 2 people in mid to try and catch out some players. Unfortunately, it made it only that 3 versus 4 retake instead of a 5 versus 4 retake. Still worked out for them though. They'll be able to go 0-5 in this series, use 2 ultimates as well, but really the pressure's on for Lotus here. They've got to come up with something, because every round that's slipping away now is just a larger and larger mountain to climb later.
And again, they're on a half buy. Once again, there's just not much to be had in this round. Again, if you can get an upgrade and start sort of a snowball effect throughout a round, that can help, but you're not expecting to pull out a full-out win, maybe get a rifle here or there. Crits drops once again behind Pyramids, and Clazy to be number 2. So again, just losing early members, really, really rough, and they're just wiped away in this one. Plant goes down, hoping that Otter can get a gun here off an exit, but it looks like they have an idea that it could be coming here. So below, it's a little far forward, but okay, cleans it up. Flawless win for Fate. Now we're looking at, even at best here for Lotus, they need 6 in a row to tie it up at halftime.
Yeah, and just the way it's going, Lotus, it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. Maybe, I don't want to necessarily, cast or curse this just yet, but we saw a 13-0 victory last week in one of our games. Maybe we'll see another one. Fate have no stop on this game. They're able to have each other's backs. This is a completely different team from what we've seen before, and I'm really loving it. They seem to be so much more practiced. Maybe it's just Breeze, but maybe the practice they've been putting through has really led them to just play more towards that team setup.
Yeah, really well executed by Fate so far. Clazy, interesting angle on that wall through doors, but now he's been tagged out, trying to get killed by the Hunter's Fury. Clazy, hot feet, gonna dodge out, and AOK actually dies. A Myth and Otter duo team take down a couple members. A little bit overextended spray effort from Posh, but it doesn't work out. Otter better on that engage, and this may be a round win for Lotus. Finally something here, unless Cringy could be the hero in the final hour, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Otter's going to drop, but that means his position's revealed. Grits is here and wins it once again. Lotus take their first round after 6 losses in a row, but man, they're going to need so much more.
Yeah, momentum has been broken, but I really think that round speaks to just what Lotus need to do. They guessed correctly on that mid push. They had the people there to kind of counteract it and set up those crossfires that, Fate wasn't really ready for. As long as the players are where they need to be when the push is coming through, wherever it is, whether it's A, whether it's B, or whether it's mid, Lotus seem to be able to win out. The only problem is they're not there when Fate are pushing. They're a little bit too scattered. This wall is going to, break just in a little bit, so it's not going to necessarily have the most impact. And with Slow Below just posted here, no one can really peek it.
In barreling down that tunnel, Crits is the first one to fall, and Clazy's going to be at number 2, so Lotus have really lost all control over the site. There's nothing there for them. Just 3 different prongs of an approach. A Myth trying to wrap around through behind. Roy going through the front door, but he's taken down by Posh, who's already earned himself a triple. A Myth dashing away, but sniped on the escape route. And Fate execute once again. Full aggression, and Lotus cannot handle the pressure. So now looking at 7-1 on the scoreboard. Lotus really faltering, but Fate on these game plans, man, they just do not hesitate to take a site.
Yeah, great, play by Fate there. They run it down hallway yet again. Once the door opens, it's pretty much a crossfire from that A main op posted up from the people who are already in the hallway itself, and anyone playing towards that front of site's really just going to be punished for it. Fate go up again in round count. Everyone has a rifle except now Sobolo has the operator. But talk about operators. AOK just got a bullet to the face with one.
A Myth, nice opening frag there for Lotus. For the first time, maybe in all of these rounds, they're the first one to find a kill at the beginning of things. So that'll be nice, operating with a numbers advantage. See what they can do. Clazy makes it 2 as well. So now all of a sudden this push is sort of just really faltered. Looking towards A with that Astra wall, but there's just so much ground to go here, and still good defense. A Myth lurking here on the site is flashed. Here comes Operator, shot number 2, and it finds Posh. Spike gonna be dropped as well, so Lotus will know this is the full effort. Flavor able to gain one back. Myth just barely not able to tag Cringy. Just remember, behind him, door's gonna open. That's a fake, though. They're going even further into the spawn. Roy's gonna be the one to win this duel if he can. He does. With a Spectre, and a Myth opens up for 3 with this up. Huge value. The top frag on Lotus, and he'll get everything they were looking for.
Yeah, maybe the operator was the answer. It feels like if Lotus gets that opening pick, then the aggression, as you says, kind of faltered. Everyone on Fate really just can't follow through as their teammate is just falling down. And they stumble just a little bit harder. Umith has to come up pretty big with his operator. Now looking down the hallway, it seems like the positioning of Fate, someone's going to meet that sight line. The only thing is 4 people now towards mid. If Clazy doesn't do this wall, and it looks like he's not going to, a crossfire onto the site can be set up. With that A, orb being taken so early, it's just an indication of what's to come.
Clazy is so close to the enemy right now. Blind gonna go through. Here come the Seekers actually from Crit, so they're using this ultimate very early in the round to get some value. Otter barely able to find AOK, who tried to re-peek that angle, but will pay for it with his life. And again, an early pick for Lotus may set them up for some defense advantage. But Otter knew what was coming. He heard the footsteps, just couldn't find the bullets to have it. And here comes their Viper Wall. Here comes the Hawk. And everyone straight out onto the site. Here come the knives as well. Not able to find the mark. 71 HP left for Roy to make this play happen. But there's just not enough through it. And it just gets banged through the Viper Wall with a blind shot from so below. And Fate have got this bomb down. Clazy really late to this rotation. 3v4 retake to be had. But again, through this Viper Pit, we saw it last time. It didn't work. Roy gets a glimpse of Posh trying to exit the Resurrect in for Clazy. Here's a teleport on top of the wall, maybe to have something. This is so beautiful for Roy. He's got 1, but can he get 2? Clazy's able to open it up, but Flavor trades him right back. Now Crit's on the rotation, gonna find it. Clazy gets dropped. Flavor on everything in a 1v1. Bomb is taking. Crits needs to get aggressive into the smoke. Flavor has a couple Vipers shots left to be had, and he gets it. What a clutch from Fate as they hold on. What a round.
Yo, someone has to deal with Flavor. That Viper's Pit, he is so good at working the angles. Crazy Roy, though, firing back. This TP was actually, like, so choreographed, but it's so insane. No one expects him to go up to that angle. And he catches people off guard. Unfortunately, the EU Sky Flash just didn't let him get that second kill. But Fates, with 2 and 8 so far, only 2 rounds left, they can make this 2-10 and set themselves up so hard when the side switch.
And I don't want to understate what Fate are doing here as a Myth. Okay, why not, man? Just get into their spawn. Gee, Menesis, he gets returned, but he'll be happy with that trade. Crits goes down. And I didn't want to understate what Fate is doing here, dismantling Lotus so early on, but that kind of spark from Lotus is what I want to see in further rounds. Otter, this could be a little bit dangerous. You need to land all those shots, and he lands maybe 2 or 3 bullets, and he'll die. Roy, Judge Gamer. That half buy does not work. 9 now on the board. Flavor gets another triple, and he is going crazy. 19, 4, and 2 on this Viper.
Lotus just faltering just a little bit. This aggression was good, but maybe a little bit too much from Lotus there. And it feels like, the timings were good for them. The aim was just not there. You saw the Sage pull out the classic on the Jet Opper and probably could have killed him if the second bullet hit. You saw, Viper there try to make the bullets land, but the RNG just said no. And with 1 round left in this half, Lotus really need this one in order to have some semblance of a comeback.
And Clazy up onto this little lip. See if he can get any work done from it. He's actually been forced to fall down. This Crits dies really early once again in that tunnel. In that hallway. Very extended now is Flavor. He is extremely far ahead of his team, but just buying some more space to get onto that ace site. And Clazy up against so below here, who's on the other side of this sphere, but now all onto the site. And Lotus again sort of late to this one with their member falling down. They didn't have enough to deal with it. Myth trying, won't be able to find it. Now here comes the retake. Lotus need to get into this one. Flavor holding this door. Won't be able to find the shots couple in from Otter, but again, you need to get on. You need to make a maneuver. Something has to open up here. You have a Viper Spit if you can get on, but not enough. That's good shots from Lotus as they make it a 2v2 actually. So Below trying to run away, dashes out, and Cringy's been dropped on the other side. Now all of a sudden it's all Lotus's round. So Below can't get in there with an operator. He tries, but Otter's just waiting point blank range, and Lotus, the retake was pixel perfect, and that's what they needed.
Yeah, it definitely got a little bit dicey towards that end, but it worked out fine for them. They go to that 3 and 9, and on this side switch, let's see what happens on Breeze. Breeze is I'm not even sure if there's a consensus in the community on whether it's attacking sided, whether it's defender sided, but I've seen, just on a game to game basis how teams can completely change. Some teams looking so dominant in that first half can completely falter once those sides switch, or so maybe Fate are going to falter this next half, or maybe Lotus. They were just waiting for this attacking half. Breeze can be very big. If you just send 5 people strong into a site, it can be pretty hard to hold it. So we'll see what happens in this next half. Ghosts in hand for a couple of people, but a lot of classics and armors. And I just realized this. Flavor's at 22 and 5.
Yeah, he is insane right now on this Viper. Any tool that poses a threat to him, he just takes it with confidence and then ends up winning it, or at least 22 times in a row. And now on Fate to try to hold this defense. Skyflash actually may have messed up AOK there a little bit. Not what you want to see, but wall going up. Lotus straight out into the site. Crits was blind, but a myth behind as he opens up along with Roy to get 2 here more for Lotus. Crit's the only one to fall 4. So 2v4. Again, offense seems to be the way here. Posh blinded up, trying to get traded back. Flavor, well done to protect his teammate. Roy's now been dropped. Posh in an odd angle, trying to fire above this wall. But a myth with a deagle will find the pistol round. Again, a necessary win, not a game over mark. But again, winning that one would certainly mean another one. That would just put you just a couple away from game over. So important win there for Lotus as they pick up their pistol.
Yeah, and even if the gunfights on the site didn't actually go the way of Lotus, they had Otter sitting towards B main with a lineup ready, I believe, to ensure that that spike goes off. So be on the lookout for those. We'll be on the lookout for those, more into these rounds coming up, whether or not that lineup actually has the impact that they need, or the fact that they're leaving that Viper out of an actual, retake scenario could just mean that they end up bleeding out the entire site. Full mid push here from Lotus as they take a lot of space away early. Sobolo only has a classic, and it's not necessarily the gun you want for this angle.
Yeah, it's on the top not guns you want. That's probably definitely in the top not 3. Crits drops there, but the kill feed's just like a zipper, as Anton would say, and this round has just gone so back and forth so early. Slight advantage to Lotus with 1 member. They're going to push straight into Flavor, though, who could get a lot of value. But no, the second shot's not enough, and the Bulldog fights back. The Myth gets him, and almost there with the sod off. But Cringy, you got a lot of work to do, my friend, and this is a rough angle to approach from.
Yeah, rough indeed. Spectre not the great for, that long-range angle either. Does have the birds up, but crossfires have already been set up on the site from Lotus. You see 2 people towards the back. The Omen there just to peek off of any sort of contact. Not even going to need it, though, as with the Bulldog, it's just going to peek and win the gunfight. A little bit dicey. Otter and Crits did fall. That's some econ damage being done. And Amith is actually 1 away from those knives. Completely accurate no matter how far away you are. Means that they can be just as good as an operator on this map.
Yeah, certainly a very high value, and on a half buy, looks like a half buy, excuse me, a force here from Fate. They are continuing their efforts to try to win this game, but really good defense by Lotus, and then converted into a beginning of an offense start here for them as they take their econ round straight into this one. See what they have up their sleeves. Really piling up near this mid angle, but 3 on the other site means B is pretty open. There's only a couple to get through. Flavor and so Below waiting around this corner. Myth's going to be the first point of contact. If he wins this one, it could be big, but Flavor's going to drop him, so maybe they index off this one, but instead they're just going to try to full send, and they just walk straight into Flavor. What was that from Lotus? Glazzy able to get him back. Flavor reloading before he steps out, but Flavor just guns him down. Glazzy now on the retreat, but Lotus just walked way too far forward. Their first member dropped, and then they all just ran in.
Yeah, I think they tried to get the trade there, but unfortunately the aim is just better for Flavor. So below, oh, should be able to get that kill, and yes, he does, leaving Clazy at a 1 versus 4 situation. Spike is in hand, so he doesn't have to, play retake on his own Spike, but with the Sova just about to peek around the corner, Clazy is going to get shot in the back, and that goes to double digits for Fate here, getting ever so close to that match point. Only 3 rounds left, and I think that really just shows how much having that round bank from the first half can help. Even if they falter a couple times, all they need is 3 more early in order to win out this game.
Exactly. Mistakes like those from Lotus are what cost you series. Obviously, they're not too close to winning this one, but picking up that round would have made it that much closer. Would have been a 3-point deficit instead of a 5-point deficit, so would have been so much easier to pick up a win. But critical error there from Lotus cost them a lot. Now only a little bit left to give. Otter going to be forced back, and Fate really just holding up here. Lotus playing very slow on the offense here. Sort of an opposite style approach from what Fate had done earlier on. Wall's going to go across. See if they can get in here, as Posh is going to be the first one on that highway to find Otter, as he falls. No more smokes available. They're on the site, but they don't have that much space. So below, timing with an operator. This could be so bad. AOK is actually going to drop. Nice awareness there to get him, but oh, this is dangerous. Nice smoke from Myth, and there you go. That's the benefit you get. Forces Soblo into an awkward position, but Myth is right below him. What is this? He's dropped down. He may have heard another one, actually. They're right there. Here comes a smoke screen trying to get it, but Posh was already in, and Myth is going to drop. Cringy right behind. Oh, it's disaster from Lotus. They almost had it. It was so close, but now they have to pull off.
Yeah, Lotus, though, they have recovered the Spike. It was in a really bad spot, but with all the fights happening on the A site, the distraction was made and the Spike was recovered. Now heading towards B. Flavor is here. He's been such an anchor before, and I think he's going to be playing this, this wall is such an unexpected angle. With 10 seconds left, you can't really dilly-dally if you are the enemy team, and the spray is so labored. They know that he's here. The Viper Molly should be able to stall just for enough time. Crit sticking it, but put down so low.
Okay, very low here. The heal's going to only be able to heal up Roy back to full. Crit's still very low. Fate in the retake, going to get blinded up here by the paranoia. And we'll be able to escape though. Roy taking an advanced position inside his own smoke. Here comes the blind. Does anyone step in? Yes, one member, but he dodges out on that one. This is so awkward. Roy, he gets 2. Posh in a 1v1 now with Crits, who's hiding, trying to bide his time, but he's so low. 1 bullet would kill him. Just needs to play safe. He's been spotted out. Here come the bullets. Quadra for Posh. The defuse is going to be in time, and Fate just 1 more under their belt.
Crazy Roy there with the big heads up play, going aggressive throughout the smoke. That was a game of literal inches with how he pushed through the smoke at the perfect timing to catch those 2 members off guard, even though he was spotted at the last possible moment. That allows Faith to go up into that 11-round count, and with all the kills garnered for themselves as well, the Astra Wall is now on the table. The Viper's Pit was not used last round, so that's still up as well, and the Skybirds. All of these can create so much space in a retake situation.
All right, time for Lotus to show us what they're made of. Put up or shut up here from Lotus. The knives immediately pulled out here, and we'll see. Okay, Myth is gonna get 1. AOK traded back behind pyramids once again. Roy going aggressive. Here come the blinds over the wall. Cringy now on full retreat. He's going to be saved again by Posh. This man, this savior of Fate so far. And now Lotus are in a really bad spot, but Posh there again to trade back. Otter 1v3 in the pit. This was just poorly executed from Lotus. They couldn't find in. And now trying to force some sort of odd pit fight, but dashing in. So below gets killed, but Flavor trades him back, and Fate contacted beautifully and 1 round away from sealing up Breeze.
Match point.
Yeah, I just think there was too much investment into that round from Lotus. They used the Viper's Pit, even though they don't really have much control of the site. They don't have necessarily those guns in order to take the fights that they really did. And now, when we're on match point, there is guns in every single person's hand, and Umith has that operator, which has worked for Lotus before. But when you're at match point, the pressure's on. You can't afford a single mistake because that just means you lose the map.
1 error, 1 blunder from Lotus would seal this one up, but Otter instead is going to start things off here. Myth with the operator could step in. Sees A-OK, knows he's stuck behind that pyramid, so he's gonna have to run out. Nice blind. Gonna allow him to escape. Clazy instead just staying there, and again he spotted another, so lots of information being given about this hold. Posh now spotted out as well, so they only don't have tag on 1, and that's so below, I believe, but now they've got him, so this B side is wide open, and you can see the rotations from Lotus are coming through. Bomb is so far away, it's a foot race back to B.
Everyone going through spawn here. Spike still isn't there, but Otter's going aggressive, is able to get cringy. The spam through the smoke, though, is good from Posh to try and get the trade through. But with only 2 people left in this retake situation, they do have a lot of time. Spike is going to go down now, so it's 45 seconds on the clock for a retake to go through. The Astral Wall seems to be put up. This could isolate the angles and be exactly what the team needs, but oh, that wall is just going to make it ever so harder.
Haven't done it quite yet here for Posh, but waiting for it. Maybe they just don't want to index in it, so they're going to hold off, I think. They're going to save this one out, and Lotus are going to take their win. 2v4 retake was not good enough, and so, well, the smart rotation, again, all the information being given over. Myth, while he didn't get kills with the operator in that round, he may have found 1, I believe, but instead, he just sees a couple members. They tag Sobolo on B. They grab him on his exit. They rotate on over, get that plant down, and force an awkward situation from Fate. So Lotus 1 closer to the impossible here. But again, 1 error, 1 mistake, Sparky, and that's map over.
One mistake indeed. Although, momentum is being built for Lotus. They do get that 1. You have to pretty much take it round by round at this point. Now they have the Sage Res available for Lotus. They can use that in order to maybe correct one of their mistakes if someone goes a little bit too aggressive. There's still so many ultimates on the board. It was good by Fate to keep that Astral Wall up. Now they can use it on a retake situation that probably is a little bit more favored for them. And it's, again, back to the sort of standard setup from Lotus. Have the operator peek down A, try and find the Sova out, while the rest of the team just gets a bunch of control through mid.
Ooh, Otter falling so early. That's not what you want. That's a big piece of your control, but nice blind there from Roy. Gonna put that duel, just slightly tip the scales there, but he's been traded back again. Fate's so good at trading those back. Certainly not any kill left untouched and stone unturned. Now it's Lotus's time to shine. They need to. Or it's straight back to the lobby for them. As they group up towards mid. This is an odd position to be in. It's not really one that you're too comfortable in if you're the operator on a myth. He's going to have to really make some play happen. They know where that res is. You can imagine the team is around him just to protect at this point. Kunji sitting behind double doors. A myth should not be the first to enter. You still have that lurker on the other side. Flavor still around B. Holding this one up. Shot from Myth is going to open things up. And that's going to be the blaring horn from Lotus to start this round off. You can see the swarm coming through immediately. Classy, Roy, everyone's on the site. Crits has been taken down, but they're trading it back back and forth. The Myth is going to drop Classy, able to find A-OK. 2v1 now for Flavor. The lurker was left alive. And Fate now in a 1v2 to end things out. But Roy and Classy, CC duo here to hold on to map number 1.
Is Flavor gonna save this? He can't go through that Sage Wall, and time is ticking. Yeah, he's finally going to make the decision to go around. If there's someone you want in this situation, it is going to be Flavor. All of his util is up. Get 1 kill, maybe get the Viper spit down. But time is the third member in Lotus's hands.
Roy has a smoke here. That's a nice slow orb as well. They've heard him. They're trying to spray him, but they just need not to give isolated 1v1s, and they could win this without trying to spray. But you don't have the time. Roy gets the kill all the same, and Lotus One shot from a Myth opens things up. They're going to grab his operator, but Clazy dies. So they have the econ to get it is the question. They do. Back down to 0. But I guess it doesn't matter, Sparky, honestly, because all you need is win after win.
Yeah, momentum is in their hands now with that all of those rifles going down. Fade have actually been forced back towards that half buy. We see a couple marshals finally being bought up. A gun we haven't seen a whole lot of, even though it's probably one of the best on this map. And I kind of like stacking marshals here because, you know, all at one body shot, 101 damage. But if you have 2 marshals, that can pretty much be an op shot if 2 people hit you at the same time.
Yeah, detrimental. Fate trying to get some information. Not much going to be given, but they know at least they're not there. So negative space then acquired for Fate. Myth knows, I think one is tucked in that corner by the pings, but we'll play this one out. Lotus again, grouping up through mid, looking for that one shot. That one kill is all they need to begin things. And a Myth, oh, he knows exactly where things are happening. AOK able to find Otter with a nice headshot, but a Myth opens up in response onto So Below, but Clazy caught in the wrong spot. Crit's gonna trade him back, but you don't have all too much remaining in terms of gun power. AOK with the one gun here for Fate, trying to spray through, but this plant's gonna go down.
Plant will go down. A lot of utility expended just to keep control a little bit longer. AOK going down makes this retake just a little bit worse. No longer is that recons are on the table to possibly get some wall bangs, possibly get some info. And with the jump peeks from Umith, he can just spot out pretty much anyone. Peek with the operator shortly after.
Oh.
Kosh will go down for his sins.
Nice from Umith there to win that duel, even though it was Posh who had the angle red. Just not enough there. And Cringy in a 1v3. Shouldn't have anything to say about this one. Gets Roy, who's just jumping out for fun. But Lotus know that honestly the econ does not matter. As long as you have enough to buy each round, each gun, it doesn't matter if you lose. Losing econ doesn't matter because the moment you misstep on that econ, the game is over regardless. So just put everything you got on the line. And again, full buy after full buy for Lotus. But this one's getting a little bit scary.
Definitely getting a little bit scary. A lot of ultimates, though, on the board for Fate. They have their guns now, and So Below is on the operator. All the tools are there right now. It's just how is the execute going to be? Can they win their individual gunfights and get that advantage early? If the initial picks come through, if a Myth is actually, you know, punished for these aggressive peaks with this operator, it really does feel like Lotus can misstep and the map going to Fate.
Ooh, Otter again, very aggressive in mid, but this time he wins it against So Below, who has not had the greatest game so far, but Flavor's still alive. Pit there to deny the B entrance will make Lotus pull off back towards A, but this side is basically open, Sparky. I mean, they've really rotated heavily off this one.
Oh, Otter gets timing on the peak. That'll even up the numbers just a little bit, but what are numbers? The site is completely free. The timer of the spike ticking down will stop it pretty what am I saying? Anyway, so the kills are being traded through. 3v3 retake is on the table, and the jellyfish have already been expended to find the members of Fate.
I just don't know why they've given him the opportunity to set up with his operator. That's a miss there, though. The caster curse comes real in action. Myth, though, not gonna miss twice in a row. Miss once, shame on me. Miss twice. You're absolutely no space to be given. 1v2 again, but Flavor is very up close, but it's not enough. A Myth sets up, and I think that's a mistake, honestly, from Fate. They had some weird read that it was going to be a full-on, all-out B push, but A was always the plan. The moment you rotate off, Lotus are too smart on that map control, and they move right back towards it.
Yeah, Lotus there with the macro play is actually beautiful. You got to trust that Viper's Pit in B main. Maybe Flavor was just feeling the pressure a little bit too much, but you just got to have faith in your abilities. You know, usually when that Viper's Pit is dropped down, you have the team rotate to the other site because no one wants to push through that damaging utility over and over again. Now with the setup by Fate, they're more, you know, I feel like it's more of that classic setup. They're set to trade each other out. The thing is, now the tools aren't there. They only have some sheriffs in their hand. They use so many ultimates in that last round. I believe they used like 3 or 4 of them. So now the only one that's available is that Hunter's Fury on AOK.
Yeah, and last time he tried to open that one up, or at least to my recollection, it's just killed straight up. Yeah, it's a bow versus a gun, and it's not an easy gunfight to win. Oh, very dangerous. Grit's close to landing that one, but it's still here with the operator. Here comes the drone. I think he saw one, maybe two. Should know Chris is there, so 2 members going to be marked here, but a myth now straight open. Again, when that op shot lands, Lotus understand that they have a numbers advantage. There's no way they're stacking the site to make the numbers even, and a myth gets aggressive and makes it 2 so far. Cringy and AOK both down. The Hunter's Fury no longer available, and Flavor's going to drop as well. Your top frag's down, and it's 9-12. Make it 10 after this one. If a myth lands a couple more, this one's going to get a lot sweatier for Fate. Really nerves starting to rack up. Slowblow gonna try to peek this one out, but it was a half-buy round. Roy takes him out, and Posh left to do it all. Should not be able to in a 1v5, and all of a sudden, this just got real for Fate. Breeze was never out of Lotus's question. May not be their map, but they're making this one work.
Yeah, 1 kill will be garnered by Posh there before the trade comes through, and someone's got to deal with Amit. This man has been so aggressive on this operator. He's just being posted up. It's not even that he's just posted half the time. He just peeks through the Viper wall, gets a kill, dips back out, and it really just feels like no one can deal with him. They gotta find some sort of answer. Now they have some guns, so maybe, you know, they can outgun him if he ends up missing an op shot, but even then, Clazy has that res to bring him back. It's just everything seems to be falling apart for Fate. Now they've started to change things up just a little bit. They put AOK on B, have the Jet posted up to try and battle what you think would be the operator that's heading towards A, but no, Umith is here just again posted, trying to make sure he gets that early pick.
Hunter's Fury not gonna get any value. Roy in an odd spot. This Flavor just gets aggressive in mid. And rare play from him means that the rarity pays off. A myth again. An operator will find one more. Flavor, again, still very far progressed. Can he get him though? That spike down. All of a sudden things have gotten awkward. He's reloading right in the sight of Crits, who guns him down. And now Otter has found Soblow as well, who's relegated to 9 and 16 on this Jet. Cringy and Posh, if they can duo tag team this 2v3, they'd be able to secure map 1 after one hell of a comeback story so far from Lotus, and a myth leading that charge. Still has the operator. Here comes the Viper's Pit, and all of a sudden it just went from hard to damn near impossible, Sparky. That wall drops, but there's more smoke waiting behind. Lotus are going to play this one smart. They're just going to wait for contact. They know they have the numbers advantage. Trading straight in their favor. A myth, though, walking not where he's ought to be, and Posh has made it a 2v2 after a critical error from a myth, going a little bit lackadaisical on the play. Crit's now being shot at. He's going to be taken down. All of a sudden, it's 1v2, and you need Otter to do it all. The tag's going to be there, but at 1 HP, Posh is inside the pit. Tag's going to go through, going to force the peek, but Otter wins it in a clutch scenario after some errors from Lotus, but that's the start you need, and it's yet but game over, 11-12, and we're going the distance.
We've been talking about operators this entire game, but in the end, these Viper pits have just been massive. The damaging utility, the near sight, all of it is just too much, and the retakes are too slow to really deal with that. It was looking so bad for Lotus. We were at, I believe, 12 and 6 at a certain point, but Lotus have played almost a near perfect game. They're almost at bringing us to overtime. All they need is this one round, and pressure's on for Fate. Maybe a little bit of tilt in their minds as well, since they've just been losing over and over again at what you'd think would be a pretty easy, closeout.
There's still an opportunity, though, to close this one out. That's the crazy part, Sparky. This entire time, we're one round away. We're one mistake from making this one over, but yet again, it's been Lotus just barely eking out win here, forcing win there. And Fate not able to respond in a sort of 3/4 buy, I would call it. They all have full armor and a couple rifles, but not really what you would want in a game-ending scenario, at least forcing it to overtime here for Lotus as they stack up once again towards this A site. Spray. Cringy, just going to dump the mag there, seeing if he can find any shots. A couple bullets on Myth, but he'll be okay with this operator. And here they go, Lotus straight out. The Hawk's gonna find it, but Clazy able to find Soblow once again. here early on in the round. Couple smoke screens. Jog's gonna tag up Roy, who's been stunned up, trying to escape back behind the pillar. He's gonna be safe just for now. Resurrect still available for Clazy. As Otter's gonna find it. There come Lotus. The kill feed lights up red. AOK can't do it. And would you believe we're going to overtime?
Oh my god, the absolute run it back, 12 to 12. Lotus have won, I believe, 7 in a row in order to bring us to this point here. And man, this is absolutely amazing. Now that we're in overtime, everyone resets. $5,000 in everyone's pockets, and everyone is, I believe, at around half ult charge. A lot of people at 4 out of 7. Amit is back on that operator in it of itself, and he's been looking so dominant on it. I expect him to just get even more picks here as the entire team of Fate is just huddled around this A site.
Goodness me, Sparky, for my first cast in the Excellency Valorant League. This is where we're going. Lotus with one hell of a comeback to be written. See if they can complete their story, or Fate are gonna put it to an unfortunate end. So Blow, that's huge. That's a player who's been lackluster all night, but he's found a myth. That is such an important frag to be had in round 1 of overtime. Crit spamming these Hawks. He's on a 2v1. Crits with a 2v1 effort. The Hawk is so beautifully played. And speak of the pick on a myth, Crits comes up even bigger. And now it's all on Lotus to push this site, and it's like shooting fish in a barrel. Otter, Clazy, all line him up, and Crit's gonna find the final one. Lotus, huge defuse in round 1 of overtime, and tilted is an understatement for what Fate are feeling right now.
Yo, Crit's there coming up huge, destroying the hall push, making sure that the crossfire can't be set up. That allows everyone from Lotus to focus on the site itself. And that just means Fates, who are in the driver's seat for what felt like this entire game, now have to worry about making one mistake and just absolutely dropping this map.
Oh my gosh, Crit's literally just laid it all out there. He's like, all right, I'm going to use literally every single bit of utility to make sure I win this one. And good God, man, that's just, that's rough to be in that corner. What do? You just sit there, you take it, and you die because there's nothing really to be had in that one. Crit's really well played. And yeah, I'm glad we're looking at a myth here, because this is going to be a bit interesting if Posh just is chilling out. Hasn't made a sound yet, I don't believe. Golly, are these players closer than they can ever imagine. They're right on opposite sides of this door. Does the myth check it? No, he doesn't. Posh? Hello? What?
They walked right past each other.
What? Wow. Okay. What is going on? Posh still hasn't checked it. Now he's trying to run back after a myth. He should die, but he's tucked away around the wall now. Oh my goodness. What was that from Posh? Did he AFK? I have no clue. Now he's going to open up. A myth has to feel a little bit interesting after that one. Otter's going to fall as well. Overtime could be the win for Lotus, so if they can defend this bomb in a 3v2. See if they have it under their belts. AOK going to even this one up 2v2. A myth and Crits here to have it. Recon bolt going to be fired. It's blinded though. Not going to get any pings off it. A myth and Crits to have it. AOK and Flavor to try and stop this comeback story right here, right now, and force us to another round of overtime. And AOK is going to open it up with a triple, but now Crits in a 1v1. Number right to his left. Does he know? Flavor has to check the corner. If he wants to win this one, needs to have it now, or Lotus have the comeback story of a lifetime. And what a story it is, written right here in front of your screens. Lotus take an excellent win on Breeze.
Yeah, 9-3 at the half with Fate, who just led the entire game. But once the side switch, we saw a whole different Lotus. Umith came alive with that operator, got so many picks for his team with using that aggression that really a jet on an operator can provide. And then Crits in the overtime rounds to save his team time and time again, bring us to that 14-12 victory.
Look at this scoreboard, man. Flavor and a myth. And even Posh really just putting in so much work. But the real separation comes with the rest of the team. Always helps to have a reinforcing squad behind your top frag. Crits, Otter, and Clazy there, all grouped up, bunched up, and will force us to an excellent overtime victory for Lotus as they take map 1. Sparky and Excellency will be right back after a short little intermission as we get ready for game 2, where Lotus look to keep their momentum going and Fate look to shut it down and get their own train rolling. We'll be right back.